Okay, let's unpack this. When you hear multiverses, you probably think, cutting-edge physics or maybe a blockbuster sci-fi movie.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The idea of multiple universes. It's not just a modern scientific concept at all.
No, not at all. And what's truly remarkable, I think, is how deeply embedded this kind of cosmic plurality is within ancient Hindu thought. We're talking thousands of years before contemporary models.
Thousands, wow.
Yeah, their texts explicitly describe things like an ever-expanding and contracting cosmos and multiple universes and nonlinear time. It's quite specific.
So for you listening, our mission today is really to take a deep dive into this Hindu multiverse. We want to explore its, surprising characteristics, the unique types, its philosophical meanings, and maybe see how it aligns or, diverges from our modern scientific understanding. Think of this as your shortcut to grasping this really expansive vision of reality.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, a key term is Brahmanda. It's Sanskrit. Literally means cosmic egg.
Cosmic egg. Okay.
Right. But it's more than just a simple container. It implies this vast, all-encompassing entity, almost like a cosmic womb, you could say, where countless universes are born.
So not just parallel worlds side by side, but something more organic.
Exactly. Interconnected, often nested. It's a different feel than just parallel worlds.
And that nesting idea, get this. Hindu thought describes not just countless realities existing together, but incredibly complex, nested universes.
Pretty mind-bending.
Yeah. Like imagine each universe wrapped by 7 layers, each 10 times greater than the last. Or universes clustered together, appearing like atoms in a huge combination. That scale is just hard to grasp.
It really is. And beyond that spatial nesting, there's also the time aspect, the concept of cyclical universes.
Governed by huge timescales, right?
Immense cosmic time units. Like the Kalpa, often called a day of Brahma, it lasts 4.32 billion human years.
4.32 billion years.
Yeah. And that number isn't just big for the sake of being big. It illustrates these mind-boggling cosmic cycles. It implies an endless sequence of creation, then existence, then dissolution.
Yeah.
Repeat, much grander than a single Big Bang.
Okay, so nested universes, cyclical universes. What else?
Well, perhaps most uniquely, within this grand design, you have what are called the 14 Lokas.
Lokas, L-O-K-A, that's right.
That's right. And these aren't just, say, different planets or galaxies in the way we might think. They're understood as dimensional realities.
Dimensions. Like higher dimensions.
Sort of more like distinct planes of consciousness, levels of spiritual evolution, you could say, each with its own unique experience of space and time. They host different types of beings, reflect different karmic paths.
Okay, that's a lot to take in. Nested, cyclical, dimensional.
But is intricate, which naturally leads us to ask, why? What's the purpose of this incredibly complex cosmic design?
Right, is there a point to it all?
Well, from the Hindu perspective, yes. The multiverse isn't just a collection of physical spaces. It functions fundamentally as a moral and spiritual ecosystem.
An ecosystem? For what?
It provides this vast canvas for the precise operation of karma, the law of cause and effect. It's the stage for the cyclical journey of samsara, reincarnation.
And the ultimate goal being moksha, liberation.
Exactly. Liberation from that very cycle. The whole structure is geared towards that possibility.
So given this sort of spiritual underpinning, how do different schools of thought within Hinduism actually see this reality? Do they all agree?
Oh, definitely not uniform agreement, but a rich tapestry of perspectives. For example, you have Advaita Vedanta, which proposes that all this multiplicity, all these universes, everything we perceive, it's ultimately Maya.
Maya, meaning illusion.
An illusory appearance,
Yeah.
of the singular ultimate reality, which they call Brahman. And in some interpretations, consciousness itself is seen as the fundamental source that creates this perceived reality.
Wow. Okay, so that's one view. What else?
We'll contrast that with, say, Vaishnavism. There, you often hear that infinite universes are created with each breath of Maha Vishnu emanating from a primordial cosmic ocean, each universe potentially having its own creator god, its own Brahma.
So more literal creation by a divine being.
In a sense, yes. And similarly, Shaivism sees the entire creation, all universes, as an expression of Shiva's pure consciousness, sometimes described beautifully as beads on Shiva's rosary, or Rudrakshamala. Each universe a distinct manifestation of that consciousness.
Beads on a rosary. I like that image.
It's evocative, isn't it? Then you also have Samkhya and yoga philosophy. They talk about a plurality of Purushas, or individual souls.
Okay.
And it suggests that Prakriti, that's primordial matter or nature, actually evolves for each jiva, each soul separately. This hints at maybe personalized subjective realities within the larger cosmic order.
Personalized realities, that's fascinating.
And Sri Aurobindo's later integral vision kind of connects these outer worlds directly to our inner states of consciousness. He suggests our own being participates in all these worlds.
So if we try to connect this back to, the science we started with, there are parallels, right? Multiple universes, cyclical ideas, dimensions.
Absolutely. The conceptual parallels are intriguing. You see echoes of these ideas cropping up in modern cosmology and theoretical physics.
But there's a key difference.
A fundamental one, yes. The core distinction really lies in their foundations. Ancient Hindu thought is rooted primarily in spiritual revelation, intuition, experiential realization. Modern science, of course, relies on empirical observation, mathematics, testable hypotheses.
Right. Observation versus revelation.
Precisely. And crucially, Hindu cosmology almost always imbues its multiverse with that teleological purpose we talked about, spiritual evolution. And often, direct divine agencies involved in the creation and maintenance. Science generally doesn't deal with purpose or divine agency in that way.
Got it. So the why is central to the Hindu view.
Exactly. Which brings us to, I think, a really compelling realization. The Hindu multiverse isn't just about more physical places out there. It's conceived as a purposeful, moral, and fundamentally spiritual landscape.
Yeah.
And it's deeply intertwined with the nature of consciousness itself.
So thinking about this, what does this incredible understanding imply for you, listening right now? If maybe our inner states of being, our consciousness, connect to these invisible worlds, as some texts suggest. And if consciousness is so central to reality itself, what does that suggest about the true fabric, the real nature of the reality you experience every single day? Something truly profound to consider, perhaps, until our next deep dive.